Time is something you can never get back in this life. You can buy a lot of things in this life, cars, clothes, shoes, jewelry, whatever, but one thing you can never ever get back is your time. Time is very precious, like absolutely precious, and a lot of people, they don't understand that. I'm gonna put it in perspective for you real quick. Think about it. You go to school, you graduate high school at 18. Let's say you go to college for 4 years, you get your degree, and now you're 22 years old. Now you get into the work field around 22, 23, and then you work until you're 65. That's not a lot of time. That's really not. And a lot of people, they work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or nowadays it's really 8 to 5. And then you go ahead and now at 65 years old, you travel the world and you can do what you want. But most likely you're going to be old, you're going to be in pain, and you're not really going to enjoy it. So that's what I mean. You can never really get time back at all, ever. That's why when you think they lock people up and you hear people say they got life sentences, they start breaking down and crying. Because a life sentence really is about 25 years. And then now think about people who get 2, 3 life sentences. You're gone. That's why they lock you up, because yeah, they can just execute you, but what do they gain from that? If you're sitting in that cell and you're rotting away, you know, they can use you for labor, you can do things labor, but your life is gone. You're just gonna go ahead and pass away in that cell at an old age. So in this video, I just want to talk about is you got to stop living your life for other people, especially like your parents, because you will regret it in your old age. A lot of people, they go to school or go to college because of their parents, or they have a certain job because of their parents, or they go ahead and get married and have kids because of their parents, or they, you know, live a certain lifestyle that their parents want. It's not what they want. And I'm just here to tell everybody is you do not get your time back, so do not waste it. Whatever you want to do in life, you have to go ahead and do it if you want to be happy. Because remember, when we leave this earth, the only thing we're going to leave other people with is possessions if we have it, and memories. That's it. What type of life do you want to live? You know what I mean? Because when people look back at it, they can see like, oh, you only live life because your parents told you that, or you only live life because your friends told you, or whatever, you know? So you have to do what you want in life. And I'm not trying to sound evil or nothing, but most people nowadays in 2025, they're not living until retirement age. A lot of people around my age group, and even little people older than me, they're passing away around 40 years old, 50 years old. Most people are not making it to 65. And yeah, I guess you can blame how the world is, or the medication, or the food, or the stress from work, or whatever it is. But how many people you know that are living until 65 and actually happy in life? You don't know a lot, because I definitely don't know a lot. And most people nowadays, especially on social media, they're saying, yeah, most old people are not happy. Now, for my older crowd that's watching, because I look at my analytics, and the analytics are saying a lot of you are from about 40 years old to 65 years old, is you gotta do what you want in life, and you gotta live the way you want to live, because you don't want to be that old person sitting in that retirement home, or sitting in that home with the other old people just saying, I wish I did this, I wish, I wish, I wish. You don't want to be that person who say, I wish, because that's a sad way to go out. It's honestly a sad way just to live life. You know, whatever you want to do in life, whether you want to travel, whether you want to do some type of event, whether you want to switch to a different career, whether you want to buy a house and settle down, whatever it is that's on your mind, that your heart desire, not what my heart desire, what your friend's heart desire, what your mother, father heart desire, with what your heart desire, I'm telling you, work towards that goal. Because if you don't work towards that goal, you might fall into depression, and you're going to have a lot of regret in your heart, and you're going to go ahead and beat yourself up. And nobody should be beating themselves up over a decision. Now, I know there might be some person in the comments saying, man, you're just talking rubbish. But if you don't believe me, go talk to 5 old people right now. Just 5 random old people, or just go into a nursing home, or go to some type of event or something, and just talk to them. You know, a person who look like they're over 50 years old, 55 years old, and just ask them, saying, hey, what are some things you regret in your life, or what are some things that you wish you did differently? And most of them would say, you know, 2, 3 things. You got to understand that's because they probably lived for somebody else. They probably was listening to the crowd around them. You understand? And there's some old people that have no regrets. They're like, man, I did everything. You know, I got married, had kids, I partied, I traveled, I did everything. But majority of people, older people, they have a lot of regrets in their heart, a lot of pain, a lot of sorrow, and they just wish, 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 wish. I'm telling you, if you don't believe what I'm saying, talk to just 5 random old people. Even if you have coworkers, go talk to your coworkers and just ask them like, hey, what do you wish you did differently, or do you have any regrets? And I'm telling you, you're going to spark up a conversation like that. And if there's any older person, or even a young person who is listening to this video, please comment down below and let me know, do you have any regrets, or is there anything that you wish that you did for yourself, not for other people, for yourself? Go ahead and leave that. I definitely want to go ahead and read those comments, and I will be responding to them. And I just want to throw this out there to anybody who is in a stressful situation and you're stressing yourself out. Listen, whether you're stressed or not, you're going to die. So whatever situation you're going through, stop stressing about it. Just let it go. I'm telling you, once you stop stressing about situations and you just say, you know what, I'm gonna die anyway, life is going to be over soon, you feel so much better. So I'm telling you right now, stop stressing, because stressing can actually hurt you. And I'm gonna give you a little story. I was stressing about a situation a couple months ago. I'll probably say maybe about 7-8 months ago, and I actually ended up in the hospital. I had chest pain, severe chest pain, and the doctor told me that. The doctor looked at me and he said, hey, you're too young to be having this. Whatever you're stressing about. I told him what I was stressing about. He said, you need to stop it. He said, you need to let it go. He said, if you keep stressing, you're going to end up back here, and you're too young at this time. You know, I think I was 23. Was I 23? 23, 24, whatever. But he was just like, guys your age should not be in the hospital for this type of situation. So I'm telling you, as a 24-year-old, stop stressing. It's not fun at all, and you have to just let it go. There's a lot of situations that you cannot control. In this situation that was happening to me, I couldn't control it. So let it go, I'm telling you. Another thing is, we cannot take nothing to the grave at all. Like, you can't take your PS5, you can't take your glasses, your jewelry that somebody special gave to you, and there's nothing you can take to the grave. Everything will be left here. Listen, everything you have right now is either going to be into somebody else's hands, so they're going to take it, or it's going to end up in the trash. It's going to be burned and thrown away. So all you materialistic people, you got to cut that behavior out, because you're not benefiting nobody. You're not benefiting yourself. It doesn't matter if you have a 15 car collection right now, you know, all wrapped up, all nice, all cleaned out. None of it matters. You can't take none of those 15 vehicles with you when you end up in the grave. And all of us will end up in the grave eventually. My best advice to a lot of you out there would be, make memories and contribute to society in a positive way. Change people's lives, put a smile on their faces. Like, I actually have this story I want to tell, and it's this kid that we brought a vehicle for my brother. And the kid was about 15 years old, and his mother was going to give him the car when he turned 16 so he can drive, but the kid got in some type of trouble. Anyway, we end up buying the car from this kid, and this kid, I could tell he was just troublesome, you know, no father in his life, well, no active, real father in his life, and he was just going through a lot mentally, seeing his mom struggle, and he gave us a good deal on the vehicle. We brought the car from him, and we gave it to my brother, and I'm telling you, we kept in contact, and it been months now, and I changed the kid's life. He actually told me, his mom too. His mom said, hey, you actually helped this kid change. I'm not going to say his name, but he started reading the Bible more, which I'm very proud of, and he was telling me he stopped hanging out with the bad crowd. He stopped fighting in school, which I was trying to get him to stop doing that. He would stop disrespecting teachers. His grades was getting better, and I was checking up on this kid for months. I was giving him what is it called, the daily bread. I gave him a Bible, and I just talked to him about behavior, and I'm like, hey bro, you know, you got to stop stressing your mom out, man. You know what I mean? And I actually want to make a video speaking about parents, things I learned as a 24-year-old, so stay tuned for that video. That video will be coming out. But I was just telling him, man, you have to change your life. You know, you're young. You got to make sure that you're a good role model in society. And I was just putting him on game, and he was listening to me. And I'm telling you, fast forward later, this kid's a good kid. He went from hanging out with the wrong crowd, from, you know, doing reckless things, to now he's calm. He's in the house. He told me he started to look at financial videos on YouTube, and, you know, hopefully he's still reading his Bible and praying to God. So it's things like that where you got to make memories in people's lives, change their lives, and just be positive. You know what I mean? Because I don't have a lot of time on this earth. You don't have a lot of time, and nobody has a lot of time on this earth. Life is short. I think they said the average age for American to pass away is at 77 years old, 78. So if you are 77, 78, you are very lucky. Very lucky if you're still breathing, because that's pretty good. That really is good. But the point of this video, I'm telling you, is make the most of your life. The days are shortened. I don't know if you guys see it, but the days are really, really shortened. Man, I remember we were just saying Happy New Year, and now look, we're in September already. And September is basically over. But I feel like after you turn, I would say 40, like 40 years old, life just goes super fast. And I remember I was talking to this one friend of mine. He's about 56. He said, man, he don't know what happened after 30. Life just flew by super fast. You know, so that's why I said you can't get time back, man, at all. There's no way. I don't know any invention that says, yeah, you can buy back time. Nope. Once you lose it, man. It doesn't matter if it's 5 seconds, if it's 10 minutes, if it's an hour, if it's 5 hours. You can never get it back. And that's actually pretty insane. It is, but you know, us humans, we can't have everything. That's how God made the earth. He gave us time, is how we're going to use it. Are you going to use it and waste it, or are you actually going to use it for good? Are you going to use it for good or evil? You know, just be aware of that. Be aware of that. After 30 years old, you got to start getting it together. You got to start figuring out life. You got to say, hey, this is my plan. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And you know, if you got to go early, you go early. But if you get to live a long life, be appreciative. Change somebody's life. Talk to people. You know, don't be that old person either who's just angry at the world. You know, don't be that. I pray to God I'm never like that. I'm that old guy and I'm just, you know, old and grumpy. I don't want to be that. I said, God, please, when I'm old, if you allow me to be old, let me love everybody. You know, just positivity. So when I go, people could be like, yeah, I remember that guy Jeremiah. That guy Jeremiah was positive. He spread love. I love being around him. He changed my life. That's how I want people to talk about me when I'm gone. But hey, time will tell, right? I appreciate y'all for watching. I'm actually back on this YouTube grind, so I will be posting a lot more videos. Go ahead and watch more videos down below. I'll go ahead and post them in the comment section. You can watch my playlist. I really appreciate y'all, man. Y'all are the best. Y'all really don't know. I've been on YouTube for 3 years, and it's like y'all still come back to my videos. I could post a video and it say 10 minutes ago, and I already got a like. You know what I mean? I know that's not big to a lot of people, but you telling me within 10 minutes of my video, somebody's already watching it and liking it. That is awesome. And I appreciate you for watching. Honestly, if you're still here at the end of the video, just listening to me ramble, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Real talk. And I really, really love you. I really, really appreciate you. God bless you for watching, honestly. Remember, guys, stay out of trouble. Change people's lives in a positive way, you know? Time is short. We don't have a lot of time on this earth. You see what's happening. I don't even got to bring that up, but you see what is happening on the news, in the world, and it's only getting worse. Thank you for watching. I love you. Remember, Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior. Stay humble, stay positive, stay safe out there, and peace out.